Jeff Lord has a great piece in the American Spectator about this today. The technique that the Democrats and Obama are using. You go from one distraction to the next, all for the express purpose of keeping attention off of yourself and your horrible failing record. There is apparently a political term for this that has its origins back in the days of Spiro Agnew. I will not repeat the term that is used to describe whatever, but Jeff does in his piece, admittedly saying that he could encounter some trouble because it involves what some people would consider an ethnic slur, but it's not the point of it. It's just what the strategy, the move is called. But you move from one, and Michael Ramirez, who's one of the greatest editorial cartoonists of our age, has a great cartoon on it. It's a blackboard, a green blackboard. And on the green blackboard is Obama's record. And Obama is on a ladder plastering individual piece of paper on the blackboard so you can't see Obama's record. And it's filled with Romney Cayman Islands, Ann Romney's horse. All these things that they're using to try to focus people on Romney and his problems rather than focus on Obama and his destruction and his failed policies. And that's what they're trying to, and it's not working. So you come out, now they come out with this thing on Friday in Roanoke, and they're letting it stand. They're letting it stand. Maybe I'm missing something, but I'm thinking if you let it stand, okay, you're calculating, yeah, I think I can win. I think there's a coalition of people that I can put together that'll outnumber my opposition that agrees with me on this. Or you think, okay, let's just let this play out and die, because if I go out, try to walk it back, it's just going to breathe new life into it, and I'm going to look like an idiot. People laugh at me. That could be what they're doing. But it isn't going away because it's hit people where they live. This is not people reacting to something I've said about Obama or Romney has said about Obama or anybody else. This is people reacting to what Obama said about himself. This is people reacting to Obama revealing who he really is. I mentioned this piece in the Chicago Tribune. It's by a man by the name of John Kass, Kass. It's entitled, Who Else, Mr. President? When President Obama hauled off and slapped American small business owners in the mouth the other day, I wanted to dream of my father. But I didn't have to close my eyes to see my dad. I could do it with my eyes open. All I had to do was think of the driveway of our home. My dad's car gone before dawn. That old white Chrysler with a push-button transmission. It always started, but there was a hole in the floor of that car, and his feet got wet in the rain. So he patched it with concrete mix. He kept on driving it to the little supermarket that he ran with my Uncle George. He'd come home long after dark, physically, mentally exhausted, take a plate of food, talk with us for a few minutes, and then flop in that big chair in front of the TV, and even before his cigarette was out, he'd begin to snore. And the next day, he'd wake up and do it again. Day after day, decade after decade, weekdays, weekends, no vacations, no time to see our games, no money for extras, not even for McDonald's. My dad and Uncle George and my mom and my late Aunt Mary killing themselves in their small supermarket on the south side of Chicago. There was no federal money for us. No Republican corporate welfare, no Democrat handouts, no bipartisan lobbyists working the angles, no Tony Rezcos, no offshore accounts, no Obama bucks. Just a couple of immigrant brothers and their families risking everything, balancing on the economic high wire, building a business in America. They sacrificed, they paid their bills, they counted pennies to pay rent and buy health care and food, not much else. And for their troubles, they were muscled by the politicos, by the city inspectors, the chiselers, the weasels, all those smiling extortionists who held the government hammer over all of our heads. I thought about this after I heard what Obama told a campaign crowd the other day, speaking about business owners and why they were successful. You didn't get there on your own, he said. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was so smart. He goes through all of what Obama said in Roanoke. If you've got a business you didn't build that, writes Mr. Kass, somebody else made that happen? Somebody else made that happen, Mr. President? Who exactly? Government? One of my earliest memories as a boy at the store was that of the government men coming from City Hall. One was tall and beefy, the other was wiry, and they wanted steaks. We didn't eat red steaks at home or yellow bananas. We took home the brown bananas and the brown steaks because we couldn't sell those. But the government men, they liked the big red steaks, the fat ribeyes, 2 to a shrink-wrapped package. You could put 20 or so in a shopping bag. Thanks, Greek, they'd say. Hey, come in, want free steaks. The government men. That was the government. We didn't go to movies or to restaurants. Everything went into the business. Uncle George and Dad never bought what they could not afford. The store employed people. The workers fed their families, educated their kids, put them through college. They were good people, all of them. We worked together. We worked hard. But none worked harder than the bosses. And it's the same story with so many other businesses in America. Immigrants, native-born, the entrepreneurs risk everything. Their homes, their children's college funds, their hearts, all for a chance at the dream, independence, and a small business of their own. Most often they fail, and they fall to the ground without a government parachute. But some get up and start again. When I was grown and gone from home, my parents finally managed to save a little money. After all those years of hard work and denying themselves things, they had enough to buy a little place in Florida and a fishing boat in retirement. And Dad died only a few years later. You wouldn't call him rich, but Obama might. Obama has changed. Gone is that young knight drawing the sword from the stone, selling hopium to the adoring media, preaching an end to the broken politics of the past. These days, he wears a new presidential persona, the multimillionaire with the Chicago clout playing the class warrior, fighting for that second term. And he offers an American dream much different from my father's. Open your eyes and you can see it too. Obama stands there in front of the mob in his shirt sleeves, swinging that government hammer, exhorting the crowd to use its vote to take what it wants. John Kass in the Chicago Tribune. I don't know if he voted for Obama or not, but I know he probably won't this year. And he's got that mob right. That's exactly what Obama's doing. Obama exhorting the crowd in Roanoke to use its votes to take what it wants. Obama's out there telling them, those people own businesses. Those people are successful. They're no better than you. They're no smarter than you. You made it possible for them to be successful. You built the roads. You built the bridges. And you reelect me and I'll get it back for you. That's what he's telling them. That's what he's telling him. Elect me, and I'll get it back for you. That's why he's not trying to walk it back. All right. Mr. Kass, it's a great column you wrote in the Chicago Tribune. I must take a brief, obscene profit timeout. Your phone calls are next when we get back.